In the year 2001, the Penguin Union Nation was formed in one-third of Antarctica. The year is 2020, and its mobile capital, Penguinopolis, resides in the town of OR, a mysterious space in North America. Here, the founder of the country reviews anime, hoping people will actually care and maybe contribute to his Patreon. Truth here, and welcome to another year of Otaku Evolution. I know how much you've desperately missed me, and who wouldn't. But let's cut the pleasantries and move on to the topic of the next two videos. The most, perhaps only, successful Gundam series in North America, Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing, which is 49 episodes. 49 episodes that I rewatched. For this! For these videos that nobody watches! I must be insane. If you're a certain age, around my age, you probably remember the rollout of Gundam Wing when it premiered on Cartoon Network's Afternoon Toonami block in 2000. I mean, the big promo had the voice of Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime himself.
Those who oppose them...
We won't be needing you any further.
What? Die. Battles are waged with mobile suits, the key to military dominance. The only hope for the colonies, 5 elite soldiers and their legendary mobile suits called Gundams.
There will be a day when the Gundams will save us all.
Of the Gundam universe, a new chapter in one of the greatest anime sagas of all time. Gundam Wing. Weekdays at 5:30. Suit up.
Those who have laid eyes on a Gundam shall not live to tell about it.
Only Toonami.
Ooh, it still gives me goosebumps. And then I watch the actual show and it gives me measles. Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but Gundam Wing, it doesn't hold up super well. That isn't to say it doesn't have its charms. There are actual elements in the show that are worth praising, and I'll do just that. But I had to blow a lot of dust off this show, and found a lot of it blew off with the dust. I think what makes Gundam Wing so accessible is that it knows how to appeal to different demographics. Boys love the war drama, girls love the pretty boys and character drama, and everybody loves giant robots, right? I'm generalizing, of course, but this was the main thrust of the interest in the series, and probably remains so. It doesn't hurt that it doesn't have a lot of continuity baggage like the Universal Century-era Gundam titles. But what, dear viewer, is Gundam Wing about? It's about 12 episodes too long. The year is after Colony 195, and the Earth and its surrounding colonies are ruled by the military might of the Earth Sphere Alliance. The colonists dislike this control, so they send down 5 Gundam mobile suits and their pilots down to Earth to sabotage and destroy the Alliance's special elite, the Oz organization. However, the Alliance has caught on to the colony's plans and do their best to counter the Gundam pilots' missions. Hijinks ensue. And by hijinks, I mean the pilots kill a bunch of Alliance grunts until they're tricked into killing the only ones who want peace with the colonies, allowing Oz to take over completely. And behind Oz is the aristocratic Romefeller Foundation, the elite among elite. The 5 Gundam pilots are Hiroyui, named after a peace activist, the protagonist we follow the most, a nigh unbending war machine. His life is changed when he meets the girl Relina, whose politician father is assassinated by Oz. Duo Maxwell, the self-styled god of death, and the most laid-back and likable of the protagonists. There's Troa Barton, the stoic focus but also somehow gentle pilot. Catra Rabarba Winner, the kind, merciful, bleeding heart, who at one point suffers so much trauma he snaps. Then there's Chang Wu-Fei, the asshole who's always ranting about people being weak, him being weak, who's strong, who's weak, blah blah blah. At least his Gundam is really awesome. Honestly, you probably could have cut out or combined a couple of these kids, and it wouldn't have changed much. Troa seems especially useless as a character, only gaining an arc when he suffers from amnesia. Boring. Wu-Fei is annoying. Honestly, Hiro would be pretty dull too if the show didn't follow him everywhere, thus allowing all the events to happen mostly to him. What makes Hiro worthwhile, ultimately, is that he is unflappable and relentless.
Surrender, but I will not hand over the Gundams. I repeat, I surrender, but I will not hand over the Gundams.
Mission accepted.
But okay, on that note, let's be positive. I can save the negativity for part 2. What makes Gundam Wing worth watching? There are definitely good things about the show. For one, there's some interesting enigmatic characters like Treize Khushrenada, one of the lead antagonists. He's a bit of an ambiguous character, and it's never completely clear what his deal is, but he has a compelling sense of honor and charisma. Zex Marquise, the show's Char clone, is also worth watching for his story arc, where he takes up causes trying to ensure that his sister's ideals have a distant champion. There's also Lady Un, Sally Poe, and Dorothy Catalonia. Man, Dorothy Catalonia. She's one crazy weirdo. She's a cheerleader for war that constantly shadows Relena, testing her pacifistic principles. She even joins Zex towards the end, but tries to goad Relena into killing him. She's nothing if not consistent. Consistently kooky. But you never get bored with her.
Relena, I think I understand why there is never an end to battles.
What do you mean by that?
People love to fight each other, and fighting satisfies their instincts, you know.
But many lives are lost as a result of fighting.
Miss Relena, I'm not interested in results. You can leave things alone and still get results. Beauty lies in taking action. The action of fighting is the most fascinating human aspect.
And the plot is always throwing in really interesting plot twists and ideas. Zex's punishment by Oz, Hiro and Troa as Oz test pilots, Catra's building of the Wing Zero, the emergence of the Treize faction, the return of the Sank Kingdom, Relena becoming the World Queen, Zex's leadership of White Fang. There's one thing or another always peeking out from the horizon until the very end.
Before that, would you give me that rose of yours? I'd love to give it to my granddaughter.
Relena Dorlin, what are you doing here?
Grandfather, roses just don't look good on me either. I'd look better soaked in the blood of Oz. Here's for my dad!
Probably my favorite little arc is Zex's obsession with rebuilding the Wing Gundam after Hiro self-detonates it so we can have a rematch. Ultimately, Hiro chooses to use Troa's Gundam, and they duel in Antarctica. Zex completely disregards his duties as a soldier of Oz and puts his future in jeopardy for a private battle against a single pilot. Hiro, for his part, is still trying to atone for the death of Marshal Noventa and accepts with little regard for his own life. Relena and Oz both interrupt so the matter isn't settled, but there's an interesting fight and at least the further interesting developments like Zex's alienation from Oz.
Are you Zex Marquise?
Princess, please leave at once. I must take revenge for the death of my men.
I hereby order you under the name of the Peacecraft family. Stop this battle immediately!
You've become strong, Relena. That's more fitting for a Peacecraft daughter. Just see for yourself how dirty and foul battles really are.
Another pretty noteworthy thing is that the mobile suit design is, for the most part, pretty damn good in this series. My favorites include the Wing and Wing Zero, the Taurus, especially Noin's white one, Wu Fei's Gundams, the Shenlong and the Ultron upgrade, both Tallgeese, and of course Gundam Epion with its sort of bat motif. I'm not a fan of every design, but there are plenty of standouts. The soundtrack is also worth praising. It's not as well constructed or epic as, say, Turn A Gundams, or even as memorable as G Gundams, but it does tend to get you in the right mood at the right time. It has this sort of 90s James Bond feel to it, which fits the clandestine and not so clandestine operations the Gundam pilots engage in.
Now that you've seen me, I can't let you live. My secret mission was to destroy only the spaceport. Now I'll destroy everything! This is Battle 001. Pilot's name, Troa, for the record.
Like I said, there's plenty of positive things to say about Gundam Wing. It can be very inventive, reworks classic Gundam tropes well while adding its own flavor, and has a myriad of memorable plot turns and characters. So why then do I say it doesn't hold up that well? Well, that's for the next episode. Next time on Otaku Evolution, I look at how exhausting and stupefyingly overly complicated Gundam Wing can get, and why, by and large, it's really not one of the better Gundam titles. So remove your rose-colored nostalgia goggles, I'm taking a beam saber to this behemoth. Until then, see ya!
Very nicely done, General Septim. We won't be needing you any further.
What?
A magnificent performance. It truly is a pity you had to leave the stage so early. Well, we can't have any bloodstains in Trace's wake now, can we?